You again.
My stuff landed here.
bodies. What are they really? Tracks. It must be the tour vehicle. At least I know which way they went. Detectors and cargo left. Maneuvering here must have been a nightmare.
Hello?
Jan? What a relief. We thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did I. The base got caught in a huge sandstorm. And I lost part of my crew.
What? Your alters? How could you let that happen?
I guess I failed to make them feel safe enough. They were so uneasy about their future, and that business with Tabula Rasa didn't help. Apparently, they thought they'd be better off in that cold, hostile desert than in my base.
You mean they ran away? And they're exposed to radiation?
They took the exploration vehicle and some supplies.
Tell me not all of them left?
No. Why?
The ship is close, Jan. You have to be ready for the arrival of the rescue team.
Ready? How?
They can't find out about your alters.
What? Wait a minute. Aren't you the head of mining operations? Aren't these your people?
They might answer to me, but their paychecks are signed by Ally Corp. And if you confront them with your alters, they will have to react. The board will not tolerate anything that could cast even the slightest shadow on the legitimacy of this operation. And the rescue team is on their leash. Do I have to spell it out to you? They will have your alters killed.
What? Killed? What kind of a rescue team are they?
They're a special ops unit. Military men.
You could have told me earlier.
Please, Jan. You always knew their primary mission was to escort the most precious cargo mankind has ever seen. Did you really expect them to arrive unarmed?
So you lied to me. That you'd prepare them.
I told you I'd test the waters, and that's what I did. But there is a lot of pressure on your success, Jan. A lot of anxiety amongst the top management. They can sense the vultures hovering around them, waiting for any sign of a slip-up. And they won't let them smell blood. They won't expose themselves.
So what exactly is your plan?
The rescue team will arrive shortly before sunrise. You have time until then to come up with a way to smuggle your alters on board. In the meantime, you need to keep collecting Rapidium.
Yeah, sure. Once we take off, what happens then?
You will all go into cryosleep, and as the ship approaches Earth, Lucas will take remote control over it and modify the coordinates. The ship will land in a secluded location I've been preparing.
And what about the crew?
They'll be in cryosleep during the landing. And by the time they wake up, we will be far away. I have a lab ready, and a guarantee of immunity from people who understand. I'm moving operations to a more science-friendly region, somewhere Ally Corp won't get to us. And, most importantly, where nobody will ever find your alters.
You're putting them in a lab?
I won't sugarcoat it. We've come too far together for that. If you wanted to hate me, I probably gave you enough reasons by now. Truth is, when I first heard about you, your situation, well, I'd be lying if I said it all came together immediately. On the contrary, I didn't hope for much. An accidental castaway with no qualifications, all alone, burdened with such a responsible task. But when Lucas told me you did it, you created your alter and managed to convince him to cooperate with you, I couldn't help but fantasize about where this could go. Can you see? I've been waiting for something like this ever since they shut down Project Elah.
You never stop dreaming about reviving it.
You wouldn't be so surprised if you knew what we could achieve.
By altering mine records? What exactly were you up to?
We were exploring unconventional methods of helping war veterans suffering from PTSD. Instead of teaching them to cope with traumatic memories, we wanted to eradicate and replace them with positive ones. The idea was to prove that there are no different rules governing the mind and the body. Both can be treated by replacing a broken part with a healthy one.
And did you succeed?
We were close. But even if we had been allowed to finish that stage of the project, I had much bigger ambitions. But take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
What? How?
The Tree of Life. You've seen yours, but it's just a projection, a rudimentary interface. Think about it. What if it was no interface, but an integrated part of the human mind, allowing us to live our lives exactly the way we should?
The way we should? What? You mean, make the right decisions?
Exactly. The human cognitive system enhanced in a way evolution failed to do in millions of years.
Wow, that's amazing.
More than that. Imagine a world where nobody ever takes the wrong turn. Children are never harmed. There are no court misrulings because there is no crime. Greedy and corrupt individuals never come to power, and because of that, wars never break out. Can you see now why your success meant so much to me? Do you not understand that giving Rapidium away for any other purpose would mean robbing humanity of its biggest evolutionary leap since we crawled out of the primordial soup? Do you still think there is a better purpose for your alters than to contribute to all that?
I'm not their owner. They're people in their own rights. I can't decide their fate for them.
That's very noble. But in a way, you've already done that when you created them. Look, all I'm asking is several weeks in a lab where I can run some tests on them, collect data, and prepare for the bigger leap.
And then what? You let them walk free?
You know I can't do that. It would be too risky for both of us and for them. But I could guarantee them a comfortable life. They would be hidden from the eyes of the world.
Safe.
The only alternative for them is to be disposed of by the corporation, like waste. I think you need to take a breath. There's a lot to think about. How to smuggle your alters aboard that ship, for one. But first, you have to guide their navigator to your exact position. They'll need you to mark the spot with a beacon. Start with that, and then I trust you'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I wasn't an accidental survivor.
What do you mean?
The quantum computer chose me. Seems I was the one who had the biggest chance of making it.
Well, doesn't that just prove my point? We are capable of so much more than we think, Jan. All we need to do is open the door and let that potential in. You'll hear from me again before the ship lands. Good luck, Jan.
rocks look like they collapsed recently. There's definitely something on the other side, but I can't drill through here.
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
Yes, I was missing that.
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
That light. I need to get there.
Nothing like a movie night, right?
Hey man, I was thinking, have you ever noticed how often we
Finish each other's sentences? Yeah, we have lived together for
way too long? Right. I feel like we've probably had
every conversation two people can have. Right. So we
always know what the other one is.
thinking.
Right.
Right.
But like, specifically, why?
Do we do that? I don't know. Like, where do you think
That compulsion comes from? Not sure, because it's certainly not like a
endearing quality?
No.
No. Mostly, I feel like we want to just show
that we're like engaged listeners, right? And we're
empathetic.
yes,
And also maybe a little bit
impatient, right? We're kind of like
insufferable know-it-alls.
That's what I was gonna say.
Can't handle
the idea of like an unresolved,
melody. Right. And in a way, it does sort of make us
really annoying,
Right.
Well, like we could totally
Stop if we want to. Obviously, we just have to face
our fears and just never
finish
this
current.
ongoing.
Sentence. Right. Can we actually
Stop? I don't know. Sure doesn't
seem like it? But like, I have
total autonomy
over my own
thoughts, right? And I certainly
can't be read.
like a book
It's like my mind tells me
to just stay quiet for sure, but like then somehow the instinct to
finish a sentence
kicks in as if it's
totally out of
my control, right? And I'm like stuck in
some kind of sentence
vortex. Hang on, quick. We need to both say the most like random
thing we can think of.
that we would never otherwise say. Right.
My foot has an
Area code all its own. That's
in a Peruvian rug shop.
located entirely
That's
within the
ridiculous
International
for a
Space PlayStation, and it's a.
Pluvia stafama state wells.
Those
are all the things I was
going to say, and the fake word at the end.
What is happening? Oh my god. Wait, maybe the reason we keep
Finishing each other's sentences.
is because they're not.
Each other's sentences.
Maybe we're actually
Only
one person.
God.
Oh. No, we're just really annoying. Right, yeah.
I feel good about today.